Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another night of NGS action. My name is Isaacs, and welcome to Division E tonight. I'm actually really excited because I just got to cast a Division E game on Tuesday night between Mosley and the Arconauts and Wood League Express that night. And tonight we've got Mosley and the Arconauts going up again, but tonight it's going up against Phoenix Rising Amethys. I have not actually had the opportunity to cast any Phoenix Rising organization game yet this season. We're in week 6. I feel really disappointed that I haven't, but I finally snagged one, and I'm excited to finally see the Phoenix Rising organization coming in strong. One of the well-known organizations of the NGS, has a very solid group of teams, coaches, and just all-around great players. So it's going to be a pretty explosive night tonight. Looking at these two teams, I saw what we had from Mosley on Tuesday night. They looked pretty good going against Wood League Express, had some shining moments to be sure, just unfortunately could not finish it out in the end, fell behind in the macro game a little bit, and it just was a little too much to handle. So we'll see if they can make their stand and reverse it tonight. Let's get you guys over to the map screen real quick so we can see what's going on. Phoenix Rising Amethyst, they ended up Mosley won the coin toss, elected to go for first pick. So Phoenix Rising got to pick the map. They started our bans tonight, and they banned out Dragonshire and Towers of Doom. Meanwhile, Mosley banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Infernal Shrines. And Phoenix Rising decided to send us to Volskaya tonight. Both teams are in the lobby, giving me the readies that they are good to go. So we should be getting underway pretty quickly here, which I absolutely love, getting these series underway super quickly. And, looking at these two teams tonight, it's going to be interesting to see what the teams bring out on a map like Volskaya Foundry, where there is a lot of team fighting around that objective phase, where you've got those protectors spawning in on those, beaconed areas. If the team is able to finish off the channeling, usually we see strong pushing champions in both phases, both the bruiser and the 4-man, so that they can get the advantage on those different objectives and start channeling it early. The bot lane, you often want some sort of bruiser who's also very good at picking up turret camps, as they are the ones that usually go pick those up. In the off lane, you definitely want the 4-man who can bully off the opponent. So we're looking at champions like Diablo, like Johanna, like Garrosh, coming out a little bit stronger on maps like this. You can go for an all-in engage composition. However, you have to be very careful that you get that early lead and are able to not fall too far behind on a map like Volskaya, where the protector, if you get a level behind, doing an all-in composition can start to backfire on your team if you're not able to keep the experience level around the same fighting over these objectives. So we typically see more team fight heavy, not these full-in blow them up comps on a map like Volskaya. Looking for the heavier crowd control. The Gazlo is a potential, but it was banned out here. The Varian and the Rainer also banned. Rainer using the Hyperion to zone people off the objective and also get a good push with Protector. Varian, utilized for that taunt Varian style, is able to lock down those single targets. Again, one of those all-ins like we said, but Varian can also be very, very fluid with the way he plays, being able to utilize that ultimate every 10 seconds. So it doesn't have to necessarily be all-in. It can be for peel as well. And Yrel getting the final ban here. Not going to see her coming out. Sonya, I mean, we were talking about bruisers just a little bit ago. Sonya is that kind of that catch-all, be-all. Sonya just does a jack-of-all-trades, master of none, where she's got excellent wave clear. She's got pretty darn good camp pickup, and she's going to be able to bruiser down the opposing team's bruiser as well pretty easily. So Sonya going to be able to do a lot, and they can also flex what kind of ultimate she wants to pick depending on how squishy the backline comes out from Phoenix Rising Amethyst. We get the Stukov and the Imperius coming in. Stukov going to be able to put down a lot of good healing for his team and also a lot of crowd control over the objective. Imperius not going to do well in the solo lane matchup against the Sonya as far as wave clear. Sonya's definitely going to be able to outpush the Imperius. Imperius is going to need a gank or two to come down, but Imperius does much, much better things when he gets to the team fight phase. He's going to be able to set up those picks, use a Stukov at 13 to root whatever target he elects to call in for the pick, and then if they could get some follow-up damage, he could do some devastating things to this Vala and Samuro, especially if they can get into that back line. You know, if the team isn't necessarily grouped up well, if you come in from a flank and impale either this Vala or Samuro will go down with the Stukov root and the Imperious Impale if they could just get some sort of burst damage to go on top of that. Looking like an Orphea, Jaina, even a Kael'thas would be able to burn through a lot of these targets. So we'll see what they decide to throw down for their burst damage on the side of Phoenix Rising Amethys. We do see the Lucio getting banned out here. Lucio was picked up, I believe, by Mosley the other night. You know, Lucio's kind of risen in power with the high 5 utilization, being able to be that anti-crowd control, save a team member with the unstoppable kind of ultimate there, getting more favored now over the sound barrier, whereas sound barrier used to be the preferred ultimate there. Li Ming getting banned out, one of those champions that can put a lot of burst damage down to the single target. This is a better map for Li Ming since the objective typically doesn't have any minions around it. It's usually just champions fighting champions on the objective point. So Li Ming has a pretty good play on this map, but I'm really excited to see what they're going to throw down. They're going to get the Anubarak and the Sylvanas. So Anubarak's going to be able to cocoon, you know, the Sonya if she decides to leap in. But the backline is still waiting for that mage, or it could be that second auto attacker. But with the Arthas, I definitely don't think it's going to be a second auto attacker now. Now we're looking at a potential mage pickup. Anduin rounding out that composition, going to be able to throw down the light bomb, and it's going to be a Malthael instead. So they're going to go for that double bruiser, try to burn through that Arthas and the Sonya. If the Malthael can get stacked up in that last rites, he will be able to put down some serious hurt onto this Arthas and Sonya in the late game. They have to be very, very careful about picking the objectives that they want to fight over. We may see Anduin elect to go for that Holy Word of Salvation now instead of that light bomb, due to the fact that Malthael has been picked up and Holy Word can basically negate everything that's coming out from that last rite. So we'll see how the Anduin decides to build this one out. The Arth is going to be pretty effective against the Sylvanas if he can get in deep there, but really having not a whole lot more value. None of these other champions rely on auto attacks too heavily. Most are spell damage. So Arthas is just going to be that main tank in the front. Samuro and Vala, they're going to be the ones that are going to try and get in there and just absolutely shred through this massive front line coming out of Phoenix Rising. But let's get these two teams introduced. On the blue side, we've got Mosley and the Arconauts coming at you again. We got Arco sitting on that Samuro, Mosley on the Sonya, Rusty sitting on that Arthas, Meeting on the Vala, and we got Robbie Black sitting there on the Anduin. Meanwhile, on the side of the red team, we've got Phoenix Rising Amethys. We've got Tomgen on the Anubarak, random person sitting on the Imperious, Lieutenant Liberista, or maybe Little Barista is how she's trying to go, or Little Bearista on the Stukov, Silver's Chung on the Malthael, and LDAP or Ladap on that Sylvanas. Going into these talents, Arthas going to go for that tank start. Going to go and try to stack up that W as much as he can. Vala going for the Creed. Going to try and get as much. Going to get that auto attack speed and the movement speed up with the max stacks of Hatred there. But we see a nice 4-man root coming out of the Arthas right away. Anubarak trying to get a burrow in on the Samuro. But, I mean, that's a fifth of the Arthas stacks already being done. And we see Sonya already going down into the bot lane, clearing out a lot of these minions. Going to try to get a little bit of a push on the Malthael. It's not going to be the Imperious, and that is a pretty smart move, setting the Malthael down. We'll have a much better time against the Sonya than this Imperious will. You know, wasn't necessarily expecting the double flex. The double bruiser kind of off lane, but they won't have the most damage. They're going to really have to play around the Sylvanas. Sylvanas going for that Q early, so she's going to be able to provide a lot more damage in the early game. Her late game won't scale as heavily, but they need to get some survivability. They've got the Malthael and the Imperious both for the late game, so that should be absolutely fine. Meanwhile, Anubarak gonna get caught out here, gets the root down, getting onto 6 stacks from the Arthas there. And Samuro already picking up that turret camp. We did see the side of the red team picking up and already go ahead and get a pretty early start on these siege minions here in the top lane. So they're going to be able to create that early pressure here in the top lane with the Imperious. Sylvanas coming over to give a little bit of a hand. And, you know, it's a pretty early pickup, but they will be able to get it back up here in a short period of time. Hopefully, right around that time, that first objective is either finishing or, you know, just shortly thereafter. We're going to get a little bit of a better timer coming out for the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. They'll be able to finish this camp off, hopefully, with the Val and the Arthas once it gets pushed out a little bit further. But I was surprised to see Phoenix Rising. They're rotating up, maybe go for the gank. I thought they were going to go for this elite support camp, getting the early siege camp in the top lane, create a lot of pressure, and then go for the camp. But we do see the elite camp. Anduin just walked right on by. The Brute came out from the Imperious, but everybody else jumped up on the Arthas and Val instead of just picking out the Anduin that literally walked right up towards them. So unfortunate miss there coming out of Phoenix Rising. Amethys. Samuro is going to rotate around, try to get in this backline. Nubrak getting rooted out there, sitting fairly low, but Sylvanas putting some hurt down onto the Arthas there. The Nubrak getting himself to safety, does not quite get away. Vala able to land that last auto attack and finish off, and that'll be first blood going over to the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. Malthael gonna rotate up and try to put some damage here into the mid lane and get them back on these even talent tiers. We do see, or sorry, the even experience level, but we do see the side of Phoenix Rising Amethys gonna go ahead, clear out that top lane. And we'll see if the side, you know, right now we're sitting at about 29. They have no rush on the side of PRA, but they do, if they're ever going to pick a fight, they want to pick it now or just wait until this Malthael is able to soak it out. Looks like the team, now 7s are online, so now they want to wait. But the rest of the side of Mosley, they're backing off, even though they have this small window with the 7 talents and the 5-man since Malthael. They're going back on it, trying to channel it back off, but this does give PRA a little bit more wiggle room. They got their 7s online now. Nubrak committing hard to the Samuro, but Samuro's swaps himself to safety. Actually, the Anduin did pull one of the clones there instead of the Arthas, which he was trying to get. Sylvanas got very low in that fight, but ultimately able to get to the well, heal herself back up, and we have a reset. But Arthas just landing 3- and 4-man roots all game long. The Arthas coming in huge. Everybody on PRA just bunching up, holding hands, and Arthas getting a lot of value. Already finishing off that quest, 4 minutes. This is a 4-minute W quest coming out of the Arthas. That's absolutely huge. And so this first objective being picked up by the side of Mosley. They're going to push in, probably get this front wall down, and then elect to go to the top lane, set themselves up for a little bit of success. You know, if they had the Sylvanas, they could elect to try and push this down, but since the Sylvanas is on the other team, not going to go ahead and push out that mid keep. Actually going to rotate down to the bot lane, maybe try and get this bot lane turret out, get a little more pressure for this Sonya in the bot lane, see if she can pick up that extra bit of pressure in the bot lane, get the health fountain, maybe get a pick onto this fort in the later aspects of the game, or just send the 4-man down to try and siege this one up with a fully stacked Arthas on that level 1 talent. Protector starting to walk itself away. They were not able to get the health camp, only able to get the front walls. Nobody stayed behind to try and pick that up. Sonya should rotate down. Now it looks like they're going to go ahead and rotate up to this top lane. See if they can finish it off. Imperious did come in with a massive impale, followed up with a beautiful root by the Stukov, or sorry, silence by Stukov. But look at the Arthas getting another 3-man root. Rusty doing absolutely insane things with the roots, and they are able to return a kill back on to the Malthael there. So 1 for 1, and Arthas landing a 2-man root, gets the Anubrak, which he's looking for, and Vala going very heavy in. Will they get the return kill off the Arthas? Ping's going down, Imperious able to get a return impale yet again, and that's a 2 for 2 trade now, going in favor of both teams. 10's coming online for the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. And we do see the Samuro going for the blade, so I'm going to be able to put a lot of damage down when he gets to that Sylvanas. We see Army of the Dead coming out of the Arthas, the Leap coming out of the Sonya there. We do have Raid of Vengeance for the Vala, and Light Bomb coming out for that Anduin. 10s are just a second away for the side of PRA, getting it online. Wailing Arrow picked up by the Sylvanas Cocoon, by the Anubrak. We've got the Angelic Armaments being picked up by the Imperious. Last Rites by the Malthael. And in the bot lane, we do see that pick on to the Malthael. Gonna go ahead and push in with this 4-man in the bot lane. Get a nice gank there. I was getting that, wait for that last pick. Nice 2-man impale coming from the Imperius, but a light bomb returned onto the Arthas. Gonna root out random person on the Imperius, and he's got nowhere to go. Arthas got lots of crowd control there, and they're gonna just siege up this mid lane with that army of the dead. Actually, Arthas still taking a couple tower shots there due to the fact that he autoed under lane, but we do see the Samuro pushing in into the bot lane on the Sylvanas, trying to get some picks. Sonya has pretty much been left alone here in this top lane, just sieging up, getting about that half, getting the well, getting both of the towers, and getting about half of that fort. The rest of Mosley gonna go pick up this health pack here and gonna try and finish out this siege at the top. And they've got a route potentially onto the Anubrak. The unstoppable burrow goes out, but unfortunately, Arthas not quite able to get position to get that route down. The rest of the team sieging up this fort in the top lane. Malthael and Sylvanas both farming out their lanes, trying to keep that experience lead from growing even further in the favor of Mosley. Samura going to go pick up this camp, get the camp experience running through, and we'll see if this late game is able to pick up. The nice stun coming out from the Sonya Anduin, not able to follow up with the stun as well, and so Malthael will just walk himself to safety. We'll see now that the 10s are online for the side of PRA. They got the cocoon with the angelical armaments. They might be able to find a good pick onto one of these squishy targets and put the Anduin under. They know it's a light bomb. Anduin actually getting the focus here. Nubrak misses the barbed impale there. Stukov getting focused by the Samuro in the backline. Rain of Vengeance goes out but doesn't miss. The Blade Storm being popped, and Stukov says none of that here. Knocks them all away and gets himself back to safety. Pretty much skirmish for skirmish. A couple ultimates popped by either side, still holding on to a majority of them. Samuro will reset much faster than the Samuro. Malthael still sitting here in the bot lane. Gonna rotate up, see if he can get to this objective, but we got a Nubrak looking like he's burrowing in. A nice wailing arrow coming out of the Sylvanas there, hitting onto 3. The Blade Storm being popped by the Samuro. Gets the Nubrak down. The root coming out of the cocoon just a little late. The Impale being landed, but only onto the Arthas, so unfortunately Imperius not going to be able to get himself out very quickly, and that is 2 kills picked up by the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. Malthael still not here, sitting in the bot lane. At this point, Malthael should just commit to getting these camps. He's going out for this bot camp, which is a good idea. The rest of the team should come help. I mean, they can clear out these siege minions real quick with the Stukov, and the Sylvanas will just help clear it that much faster. But the rest of the team needs to find some sort of priority somewhere else on the rest of the map. Silver Arrow coming in with the chat saying PRA is pretty tanky. Definitely agree. They've got a late game comp. They just can't fall too far behind, and Malthael needs to get these last right stacks going, so he needs to get to some of these team fights, get those stacks underway. He's got the big number of 10. Once he gets to 20, he can change that to 5 that he's trying to get to. We'll see if that is able to continue. Anduin just having the time of his life, sitting on the objective. We do see the Samuro getting caught out a little bit here, running away. Malthael is here, putting down some damage onto Arco. Arthas is there, but unfortunately the burrow gonna miss by the Nubrak, and the Impale almost hits him. If he had one more barb, it may have hit, but this objective not being focused at all, and that will be another pickup by the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. Gonna go ahead and push this protector heavily into the bot lane. Both of these forts are already gone, so they just need to kind of focus on pushing out this bot lane. Gonna go get their 16s pretty quickly here. And PRA, they just need to farm out, clear this protector out, stay safe, and eventually play for those 16s at this point. Not much they're going to be able to do against this protector except poke it from safety. They got to be very, very cautious of the Sonya leap. Sonya sitting in that position, waiting to jump in. They cannot group up. That's the one thing that unfortunately they can't afford to do. But Nubrak going to go in. They're going to make a play to push past Impale going down. Vala getting absolutely obliterated here. The last rights did not pick up the stack. Sonya going under. Anduin sitting way back. A nice pickup by PRA, and they're continuing to push. Malthael's got to stay a little bit safe. Sonya leaping herself to safety there. 2 good plays coming out from PRA to make sure that they got a little bit of advantage, got some comeback experience, absolutely needing that in a game where they were falling a little bit behind, but they're not done. And Nubrak getting a double stun, followed up by the Impale, another pick, and that's the composition they wanted to draft. That's what they expected to happen with this team that they built, and they're starting to show a little bit of signs of life here in this mid-game. Nubrak and Imperius have gotten together, had a little powwow, and said, all right, let's get this combo down and just set this Sylvanas and Malthael up for success. Malthael does not not have any stacks of last rights yet, but they're able to get a nice steal here onto the opposing team's turret camp. And look at this experience. It was a 2-level lead. Now it's about a half-level lead. So PRA coming back in here, getting themselves on even talent here. Nice pickups, good calls to push back by the Protector, and the Protector didn't even get this bottom fort. So, I mean, all in all, a very, very good defense coming out of PRA there. Good, solid work around that objective, knowing they couldn't get it, but we do have the full 5-on-5. Anduin will be back, but Sonya rotating down. PRA electing to back off. Malthael gonna go, maybe catch this Sonya. Did not see her, should have seen her there. He didn't call it out. Maybe he just barely missed it in the fog of war, but he should have seen that one. You know, they could have easily collapsed on this Sonya, caught her in a really rough spot, forced another leap burn, but Sonya able to come away with a camp still here. 16s online for both teams. And we see Mosley and the Arconauts gonna go and try and steal up this health camp, get the elite camp, and try to grow that turret, or sorry, that item advantage. They've got 2 health packs, and then Sonya sitting on that turret, but Nubrak unfortunately not going to be able to land the burrow on the leaping Sonya. Good ultimate burned by the Sonya to get herself to safety, but let's see if the side of PRA can make a play around this cooldown. They need to get up. This is actually a really good play. Malthael should be very much farther forward. They can get a good rotation onto this 4-man. Samuro's not here, and they know the leap is down. Can they find it? Nubrak burrowing in, cannot find it. Knocks Sonya up, gets a 3-man, but unfortunately nobody was in position. That was a pretty prime opportunity for the side of PRA to get a good combo off and see if they could find another pick in their advantage. But unfortunately, now they're going to go have to respond. This bottom tower is going to fall, and that's another tower going over to the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. They will be able to siege up this bot lane due to the Sylvanas and the Malthael being both in the top lane. Sylvanas going to try and even out this pressure in the top lane. The siege going down in the bot lane from Mosley and the Arconauts, and they're waiting for some sort of damage to get here. Either the Sylvanas or the Malthael needs to rotate in so they can go with this pick that they like. Nubrak going in, gets the double, but unfortunately the root coming out onto the Imperius, the follow-up wasn't there, and now the counter engage coming out from the Arthas using the army of the dead. The dead are inside the base, and that's where they will die again. Second death? I'm guessing that's a second death. But it reminds me of that not Pirates of the Caribbean, Muppets Treasure Island. Dead Tom is dead. You can't kill Dead Tom. He's already dead. And we do see Sonya picking up this turret camp. We do see an invade. This is actually a really good invade, knocking up this follow there. If they can get a follow-up impale, this could be big. Last right's going out. Wasn't enough to finish off. They've got too low, and Anduin sitting right in the middle. Lightbomb being popped on himself to get the peel. We do see both the Samuro and the Arthas in the middle, both sitting with health, and the 2-man stun. 2-man knockup. The Nubrak's getting good plays here. Both the health turrets are dropped. Neither was popped, and that is a double item transfer going in favor of PRA. They are making plays here in this mid game. Absolutely critical plays coming from this Nubrak. I thought they were going to be able to get the Vala and the Sonya both getting away by the skin of their teeth, and then they were able to turn it around onto the Samuro and onto the Arthas. Arthas and Samuro both dying with their health packs, and ultimately that is a huge swing in favor of Phoenix Rising Amethyst. Malthael still, unfortunately, not able to get a stack of last rights. He is in a pretty bad spot. Was able to pop the Unstoppable to get himself to safety. Nicely done, and going to get himself away. Meanwhile, Nubrak going to channel up this bot lane. 10 seconds still. Nobody's going to really be able to get down here to contest this. This objective should be picked up by the side of Phoenix Rising. Let's see if the Malthael and the Imperius can contest this objective by the Sonya. The stun going down. Malthael does have last rights, but Sonya does have leap available and gets herself away. 87% is where we're sitting. Now Imperius and Malthael need to get down here, because if this Anduin or Vala step on, they need to be able to respond. But the Protector is finished being channeled. I don't want this Nubrak to get in. This is, I mean, getting your healer in is pretty terrifying. And the Sylvanas, actually. Both of the members want to stay out. It should be like the Imperius and the Malthael, or just a Malthael and Sylvanas. I don't know what they're going to do, but this objective already being burned out seriously. 20's online for the side of Mosley. Malthael just trying to farm it up. Sylvanas can get herself away. Stukov gonna have to swipe for your life. Oh, missing the swipes. He swiped backwards. Unfortunate there. Oh, man, just when you thought they were going to come back. I mean, it's just one death so far, so it's a pretty good retreat. They still have a couple items in their advantage. But, man, Stukov unfortunately slapping the wrong direction there, and so he wasn't able to knock everybody away. And ultimately, they are able to collapse and pick up Stukov, and now the engage is onto Sylvanas, and Sylvanas goes down as well. The counter engage just isn't there. Malthael nowhere to be seen, now rotating himself in. He was trying to pick up the 20s for his team. You know, a little bit of staggered deaths going on. One more cannot die. They've got a pretty good defense. There's really not a lot of pressure that the side of Mosley can cause. Stukov will be alive in 20 seconds, so as long as they can get this wave pushed out and defend as well in the mid lane as they just did in the bot lane, that's pretty much going to be all she wrote. Mosley will be able to start picking up some of these item camps and get that item advantage going in their favor again, but it's pretty much just a full reset from Phoenix Rising. They are waiting for their timers to come up. 20s are all online. We see the improved Wailing Arrow coming out from the Sylvanas. Rewind by the Nubrak. He's going to be even more deadly landing some of these combos. We see the brand of Solarin coming out from the Imperius there, so he's going to be able to get that brand coming out even faster. Stukov going with the extra swipes there, and Malthael's still holding on. At this point, he has no stacks on the last rites, so no increasing that is not going to be helpful. Imperius jumping through the wall there. What a play! And that is two kills quickly, trying to combine words here for the side of Phoenix Rising. They are doing absolutely great work on these camp invades. They have been making these calls and they have been working. Malthael did get one stack of the last rites there, so now maybe he's like, maybe I can get those other 4 and go for the reduce, or he could just go for the no one stops death, get himself back online. And Nubrak having to get himself to safety. The Wailing Arrow on to the Samuro there, but no counter turn onto the Samuro to try and pick it up. Arco getting himself to safety there, and Phoenix Rising doing a good job of getting their camps, keeping this item advantage in their favor. Now they need to find some pressure somewhere on the map. Maybe look to the mid. Vala is very overextended. Nubrak senses it. He wants to get this kill, and Pierce is behind, not able to land it, does not land the parts, but Imperius comes through with the stun. Nice leap to save the Vala there. Vala trying to turn around with the Rain of Vengeance. Samuro coming in from behind. Malthael here. They see the Samuro, but Samuro doing the juke dance and getting himself away. That was a really, really risky situation for the Vala there. Sonya coming in like clutch MVP, landing the leap to make sure Stukov couldn't get the root on the 13 since he had the silence already going down. And yeah, big save by the Sonya with the leap there. That's all you can really say about that. Arco gonna get away, use the other monkeys as a decoy there, and now we've got a 5v5 situation. We got about 25 seconds on the Wailing Arrow. We got a lot of ultimates down. I think just farm out this bot lane. You can wait until your ultimates are up. Make sure that this doesn't push into your keep, but they're going to go fight in. They don't have the Wailing Arrow, so I think that's what's been mostly critical. The Light Bomb going down on the Samuro lands onto the 3-man there. They need to put down those healths quickly there. Stukov landing a beautiful swipe, another beautiful swipe, and this could be a turnaround. Sylvanas getting zoned out. The Malthael getting away with the unstoppable. Stukov coming back in, but everybody on the side of Mosley has burned most of their ultimates there, and now Nubrak just gets caught through a rotation. Everybody went one way, he went another, so Nubrak will go down. Sylvanas getting fairly low, getting chased out by the Arthas. Leap going down onto the Malthael there. Malthael will trade his life away, still holding on to the level 20 talent. Now picks the no one can stop death. Gonna get himself back alive here for another fight. So a 1-for-0 pickup there in favor of Mosley and the Arconauts. They do get this protector. It will go bot lane, and this is going to be all hands on deck defense coming out from the side of Phoenix Rising. I thought with how much, Stukov coming in with a couple critical flailing swipes and getting the kill switch engaged to make sure everybody is alive, I thought they were potentially going to turn that fight around there, since almost all the combos were burnt out of the side of Mosley, but they just quite weren't able to. But this protector doing this dueling thing is getting a little bit low there. We will see if the side of PRA is able to get the defense. They need to get on this protector quickly. Althael's got to come down. He's got to use the Stukov for healing. He can't heal there. This core is falling and falling fast. Protector down, a core down to 50 health. Protector staying healthier than the core is never a good sign, and this will be GG's game number 1 going in favor of Mosley and the Arconauts. pretty good game all around. I mean, Mosley had a very strong early game, starting to transition in the mid game. You kind of thought the writing was on the wall there for a second, but then PRA just came back so strong in that mid game and into towards the late game. We're able to find countless picks with the Anubarak, followed up with the Imperious Impale. We're able to get kill after kill, getting 2 clutch camp invades, and the ultimate thing was they just couldn't find any map pressure on the map after getting those kills. I mean, they got those 2 kills on the bot lane. They weren't able to capitalize on the 2 kills in the mid lane with the Vala Sonya, but they still weren't able to get any map pressure back in their favor. Even getting the protector at objective C, you think at least bare minimum they could have picked up a fort there, but they weren't able to do it. And so eventually the map pressure just kind of started overwhelming them. And then they, kudos to them for fighting back, but unfortunately that last fight over that last objective, it looked like they could have potentially turned it around there, but then Anubarak unfortunately just got separated from the rest of the team. It was like, guys, where you at? And they're like, we're way back here. And he's like, oh no, I'm dead. And then that was pretty much it from there on out. But good performances coming around. I mean, we knew the side of Mosley had way more damage dealing with the Vala and the Samuro with the Sonya, but this tanky anti-tank shredding pick composition coming out of PRA. I mean, Sylvanas put down 40k damage for sure. The Malthael, unfortunately, wasn't able to get enough stacks on that last rights to really be as efficient as he wanted to be in that mid to late game. Imperious and Anubarak were absolutely doing monsters engages there. Stukov definitely holding his own, but for 13, going for the lingering spines instead of the root, which is very interesting considering they had a pick composition. Anubarak can knock up 2 targets. Imperious can not impale 2 targets in a row. That sets up Stukov so easily to be able to land that root. So, and increase the amount of time for the crowd control. So, interesting pickup on the 13 there from the Stukov to be sure. But pretty much the rest of this game is, for the most part, pretty standard builds coming out of both teams. Anduin going for that absolute yeeting composition, which he needed for the amount of engage coming out of the Anubarak Imperious. Going to have to just pull people left and right there. Interesting pickup with the composite spear, though. Don't see that one picked up too terribly often from the Sonya. But overall, pretty good game number 1. Let's get you guys back over to that map screen so you can see what's going on. I'll get us over to game number 2, at least get it set up here. And PRA is going to go to the take the first pick, leaving map pick to go over to the side of Mosley and the Arconauts, and they're going to send us over to Alteric Pass. So a little bit of change of map, still another 3-lane map, but you don't typically see too much rotating now between lanes. You can get it occasionally with like a diva who can get very quickly from one lane to another. But typically this map favoring more of the 1-3-1 phase where you are trying to use 2 of the 3 to pick up your camp as often as you can. Getting a strong camp clearing champion like a Greymane, like a Hanzo, like a Raynor, like a Vala is going to be absolutely critical in this game to make sure that you can keep farming those camps when they come back up, getting your team map pressure and experience. Oftentimes we see that being valued over the objective. Sometimes teams elect to get this really good team fight, smack them in the mouth composition, and want to go and try and siege up or start up that objective early with this first objective. So we'll see if one of the 2 teams elect to go that route. But here we go. These teams are just ready to fight, going very quickly through this map pick and ban and getting us into the second phase. We'll see what bans come out, if they stick with the same bans or go for some more map-specific bans, looking at Falstad as a possibility, looking at Diva as a possibility, and also some of those camp clears. I don't know how much of the Lost Vikings we're going to see. Just because we're in Division E, and I don't know how much the Lost Vikings are played in Division E, but Lost Vikings getting a ton of value on a map like Alterac Pass, where they can literally put one in all 3 lanes and get some massive soak going in favor of your team. And it also allows the rest of the team to rotate as a 4-man on a map where, usually you see it's a 1-3-1. So provides a lot of good value. But you have to be very good at microing those those Vikings, and sometimes that can just be a wee bit difficult. But Samuro coming out and getting the respect band by the side of Phoenix Rising Amethyst. Samuro can do a lot of good split pushing on this map. Don't want to deal with that Shadow Ninja again. Gazlo getting banned out here. It can be pretty brutal in some of these objective fights. And so we're waiting to see what decides to get banned second here by Phoenix Rising Amethyst. Gonna ban out that Urel. Don't want to see her again. I believe that was banned out by them in Game 1 as well. Probably a target ban, I'm guessing. I don't know who on the side of Mosley plays it. I don't believe it was banned in their series on Tuesday, and I don't think it was picked up either. So maybe that's just we don't like to play against Urel also potentially coming out of Phoenix Rising. Because, she's okay on this map. She's just difficult to play into if you don't know. And we do see the Stukov last ban. So another potential respect ban coming out there. Stukov was picked up in that game number 1 by PRA. Like I said, Stukov did fairly good things. I was just questioning that level 13, but here we go. Sonya getting first pick priority yet again, but this time going over to the side of Phoenix Rising Amethyst. We've seen a lot of Sonya value. I've seen a lot of Sonya value in the last week or so. She seems to be picked up quite a bit across all divisions. Like from, I believe I started this week at Division A, went to Division B, then went to 2 Division E games, and Sonya being very, very highly prioritized across all these divisions there. So it's curious to see. She's like I said, she's a jack of all trades, master of none kind of deal. But Sonya does a lot of good things in that offlane. But we do see the Cassia and Mei picked up by the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. Cassia going to be able to do a lot of great things with the melee engage. May's going to set her up beautifully with that slide using the Blizzard to stun people out, but a good return pickup by the side of PRA, getting the Brightwing and the Johanna. Johanna going to negate a lot of Cassia's all-in engage potential. Going to be able to blind the Cassia and be like, nope, see ya, that sucks for you. And Brightwing also being able to polymorph both the Mei and the Cassia. So Mei starts to slide in. Brightwing says that's the end of that. Don't want to deal with that anymore. And pretty much negate all of Mei's engage potential. But we do see the Falstad ban getting banned out here in the 3rd rotation. Not getting that high priority. Unfortunately, his most powerful build, the W build, getting banned out from that level 1 talent, not being able to be chosen in competitive play due to a bug. So Falstad not picked as much recently as he was a couple weeks ago when it was not banned. And we see Li Ming again banned out, but this time by Phoenix Rising Amethyst. Don't want to see the Master of Orbs anywhere on this map. PRA getting another strong dive comp going so far. Yeah, I mean, they got the Blessed Shield with the leap potential so far. We'll see if they can round that out with, I don't anticipate the triple frontline coming out in this game, but we do see the Vol and the Lucio being picked up here by the side of Mosley. So go in again on that Vol, double auto attack into a Johanna. Pretty ballsy move coming out from Mosley. Johanna gonna be able to take that increased shield glare duration at level 7 and make sure that the Cassia and Vala are blind that much longer. And Lucio picked up, probably going with that high 5. And we'll see what the side of Phoenix Rising are going to get. They are going that triple beefy frontline with the Leoric and Tassadar hypercarry in the back. And if one champion can do it very well, Tassadar is one of those champions that can cause absolute destruction. I really like what I see out of Phoenix Rising Amethys here. It's not as heavy as an all-in comp as they had last game, but it still smacks people in the mouth pretty hard, and nobody on the side of Mosley can get away from that Entomb. Raynor picked up as that last pick. Gonna be able to put some pretty good damage down onto these high health targets with the Vala. Vala is gonna go heavy into just this, you know, single target, blow them up kind of build. So Raynor and Vala going to be able to put down some pretty good damage. So we'll see if the Johanna is able to. She's now got 3 juicy targets to blind. It is going to be a full shield glare build coming out of this Johanna. Just going to make life miserable for these triple auto attackers coming out on the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. Talk about ballsy. 3 auto attackers all going into a Johanna. You love to see it. Quite a show. We'll see if they can somehow just overwhelm this Johanna with all this auto attacks coming from anywhere, making her panic and being like, which one do I blind? But here we go. Let's get these teams introduced on game number 2. In the blue side, we've got Mosley and the Arconauts. We got Mosley sitting on that Raynor. We got Robbie Black on the Lucio. We got Meding on the Vala, Rusty on the May, and Arco on the Cassia. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got Phoenix Rising Amethys. We got LDAP on that Sonya. We got Tom Jen on that Johanna. Little Barista is what I'm going to call it on the Brightwing. Sylvester Chung on the Leoric, and random person flying around on that Tassadar. I don't know. I don't think Mecha Tassadar is banned in NGS. I know it was banned in Heroes Launch for a while, but I don't think it's banned in NGS. I'll have to double check. Doesn't matter if the teams don't call it out. Hey, it don't matter in the end. But we do see the Johanna and the Sonya committing very heavily to this fight right off the bat. Leoric trying to get that leech going, but unfortunately Raynor just able to step himself away, going off to their respective lanes. Johanna actually going to go to this bot lane. Sonya going to go face off against the Raynor. Leoric going to look like stay in the mid. Tassadar going to go and try and get this camp started right on time. They're a little early. Could have definitely pushed out this second wave and then gone to the camp instead of just hanging out doing a dance. We'll watch him dance for a second there. We'll go over some talents while we watch Tassadar dance. Cassia going for that Q stack. Going to be able to just infinitely stack up that Q build. Lucio going to try and get that party mix going. Already doing good things with the Vala. Going to commit to the heavy hot pursuit again. Raynor going to go with that Exterminator, it looks like. Exterminator build. And May gonna just do some more damage with the auto attacks. Tassadar going with that static charge. Unfortunately, hasn't had a chance to get it charged up quite yet. Johanna going with the Law of Hope early in this game. Gonna be able to get herself a little more self-sustain here. Sonya going with the block. Why not? There's triple auto attack there. You might as well take it. And Brightwing going to go with that increased phase shift. Pretty standard level 1 talent pickup here by the Brightwing. Thank you, by the way, Sparhawk and Silver Arrow for the follow. Definitely appreciate the follows on this channel. Lots of Heroes action goes on over here in the evening. You can always come on over and check out some NGS action for the remainder of the season. But nice Condemn coming out of the Johanna player there. Getting 3 members and getting them all fairly low with the follow-up burst out of the Tassadar. So good pickup there. Some pretty good pressure coming out of PRA here in the early game. Leoric finally rotating down into the bot lane. Gonna go into that one-on-one matchup so Johanna can go into that mid lane. Then Condemn coming out, unfortunately, will not connect. Johanna already getting that increased, not the increased duration, but getting the increased damage with the shield glare because she's gonna go into that increased blind at level 7. So might as well just say, hey, I'm blinding them, you hit them. I'm looking pretty standard stuff. I don't know a ton about Leoric builds. I wish I do. It's definitely something on my radar to go watch and research to be able to commit more to a Leoric lane matchup, because Leoric is one of those fun champions to be able to watch in the off lane than just say, hey, he's got his Entomb now. That's what Leoric is known for. that and his leeching ability. But we already see Mosley picking up their second camp, PRA not picking up their camp, electing to go, like we said, for this first camp potentially. So some teams do elect to go for that first objective, put a lot of value onto it. The side of Mosley saying, we can delay them and get their camp. So that's going to give them a little extra map pressure. Sonya now rotating over. I would like to see the side of PRA just back up, do the same thing. They've got the delay. Brightwing can actually just get up here and throw some Qs over from very, very safe range. Johanna can shield glare as well while Sonya picks this up, but they got to clear out this minion wave. Leoric going to commit to the bot lane. Raynor actually just going back up, getting a camp in the top lane, evening out this experience lead there. And we do see the objective being channeled, but Brightwing getting the interrupt, doing it from a little riskier position. Johanna is in the position we typically want to see Brightwing sitting in. So they got 2 interrupts. Tassadar going to throw over. Nope, he's not going to throw over the Q. So the objective is started there, coming out for the side of Mosley's. I got Huli over here saying he's a Leoric main and he's picking the right talent. So I'm going to rely on Huli's expertise for the remainder of this game for the Leoric. But we see the blind coming out from the Mei. Cassie diving in onto the Leoric, popping the unstoppable. Wraith walking himself away to safety. Mid lane is getting a siege. PRA now have the advantage to go get the channel. Vala going to vault herself to safety, get away from the condemn. Oh, but a nice wall from the Tassadar catching out mid-ding here. Mei trying to get a counter engage onto the backline, not going to be able to do so. Brightwing teleporting in onto the Johanna to top her off, and we do see everybody a little of Tassadar can stay healthy and continue to poke from range. This could be a pretty good play coming out of PRA. Rusty getting down to about half health, but they may catch the Johanna without the Iron Skin here. She's getting out of that bleed, but Raynor sitting in the back line. Johanna in a deep without. She does pop the Iron Skin, the unstoppable. Brightwing actually trying to get the channel off, wasn't able to do so. Johanna going back in without the Iron Skin. Pretty aggressive play, gets herself to safety. Sonya spinning to win in here in the middle of 4 members. Tassadar getting a massive burst, but unfortunately it's just not quite enough, and Vala able to get the kill onto the Sonya, and the rest are PRA calling the retreat in. And here we go. Getting a second nod coming in from Sparrowhawk. If you can't trust Huli, who can you trust? Nobody. That is for darn sure. But we do see the camp being picked up from the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. Gonna get another camp in their favor, but Sonya gonna go and try and match this pressure. Leoric getting a pretty good wave in the top lane. So even though the side of PRA were behind with the death, they are able to actually get some pretty good map value here. If they can interrupt this Mei, if they could have Brightwing down here, unfortunately Tassadar may be able to get that second interrupt. Way too far away though, got to get a lot closer there, and this objective starting to be channeled by the side of Mosley. I don't think that PRA is going to be able to contest this. They're electing to go just get a massive push. Raynor actually very aggressive. Unfortunately Johanna does not have the blessed shield. If she did, Raynor, you were dead, but Raynor able to just walk us way to safety, and the side of PRA gonna go ahead and get going here. Cassia starting this siege in the bot lane. Johanna sitting there calling in for a little bit extra assistance. Here comes the cavalry. Johanna landing the condemn onto the Cassia. The wall going down. Cassia, you cannot go that way. Brightwing coming in, but unfortunately can't get in range for the polymorph. And so Cassia just going to get herself to walk away. And here we come with this objective in the bot lane. 3 members in the mid lane. So Sonya should be able to do a pretty good time. Delay long enough. Ooh, get stunned out there, but should be able to delay pretty easily until the bot one is cleared out. May lose both forts and the health fountain. Leoric probably will lose the same up in here, but if they can keep the bot pretty healthy, that's a pretty big win for PRA, and they do. The wall hasn't even fallen. The rest of the team is teleporting up. Brightwing has the fast boots to get here. Johanna actually going in for the aggressive play, has the 10s online. We see the 10s coming out. I haven't started calling them out. Maybe since we have a bit of a pause, I will. We got Entomb coming in. I see the conversation going about March at level 20, but we've got Entomb at level 10. Black Hole by the Tassadar. Blessed Shield from the Johanna. Berserker coming out of the Sonya, and we've got the Blink heal from the Brightwing, and we've got a 4-man rotation. Cassia, you cannot run away from that Blessed Shield. Polymorph will not miss this time, and that is a nice pickup onto the Cassia there. Good kill coming out from PRA, but the map pressure coming in for Mosley and the Arconauts. They're going to pick up this camp, and we'll look at their 7 talents. We got Chain Lightning coming out of that Cassia. A Strafe coming out of the Vala. We've got the Sound Barrier coming out of the Lucio. We've got the Rainer's Raiders coming out from Jimmy himself, and we've got Ice Wall coming out from the Mei, but this camp being cleared up. It's a 3v4 situation. Boss is sitting pretty low. The strafe coming out from the Vala. The objective, Mei actually able to channel the whole thing off, just sits in her little ice and her ice nugget essentially, and gets the steal. Everybody walked off, and this is a huge steal coming out from the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. They sniffed it out well, and they will get rewarded for that. Big things coming out from Mosley here in this mid lane, getting a pretty good siege up on this bot lane. It will be picked up. They already had the minion wave in the mid lane. This is a huge macro heavy play coming out all areas of the map. I mean, Jimmy was just farming out the top lane and now going to farm out this mid lane here as well. Tassadar in a very, very deep spot. May going to be able to punish that, get that positioning abused there, and that is going to be another pickup by the side of Mosley and the Arconauts, still having a quarter health boss available to create some siege pressure. Jimmy just doing the camp all by himself with the Raiders. Johanna going in, they're doing a counter engage. The Leoric gets the Entomb down, but it isn't enough. Sonya spinning to win, but unfortunately not able to do so here. We do see the Ice Wall being popped by the Mei, but unfortunately she's just not able to do too much with it, using it more for disengage, having the Rainer up in the top lane to be able to channel off this objective. Already about halfway finished. The rest of the team coming up to help give a little bit of support. Tassadar is here. Mei does not land the Blizzard. Brightwing having to get herself to safety there. And ultimately, everybody backing off. This will be an objective picked up by the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. Second one going over to them. And we do see the side of PRA trying to get this camp finished, but will the side of Mosley? They do not get inside. Black Hole gonna punish that. Light bomb, or sorry, sound barrier popped absolutely perfect. There's the bomb coming out. We do see the Sonya going down. Tomb onto two members. Tassadar should have a good time. Be able to finish off the Vala. The Vala does end up going down. The Brightwing going to teleport onto Johanna. So a nice turnaround kill coming out from Phoenix Rising there. But man, oh man, I thought with that Black Hole they were going to get some value, but Lucio coming in with an absolutely clutch sound barrier to keep everybody topped off there. We do see Huli talking about, the Entomb. If they could pull it off, what will they have to follow it off? A Black Hole. That is very true. The Tassadar not going to be able to provide a ton of damage yet, not stacked off. They could get the leap from the Sonya, but they're still debating about that Marchant. I'm so glad there's a lot of Leoric players in here who can have this debate. But we do see this objective being picked up here in the mid lane. Gonna get cleared out. Leoric gonna respond to Jimmy in the top lane, but the rest of the team gonna go and try and get more value here in the bot lane. Objective sitting now round half health or so. Tassadar gonna get some damage. Johanna getting the blinds coming out. I just did notice, sorry, we got a strafe coming out from the Vala, the Blizzard being landed, and ultimately that's gonna be that for the engage. Johanna trying to land a second dam, catches the Lucio. Lucio very low. Here comes the Sonya and the Entomb, but the Entomb misses, actually catches Sonya in it. So I won't say it misses, caught the wrong fish there. And ultimately that will be the disengage. But looking at these talents, level 7, Sonya or Johanna electing to go with the subdue rather than the increased blind duration against the triple auto attack. So she did go with the perfect Sins Exposed at level 4 as expected, but did not get the increased blind duration at 7 like I thought, and so this is only going to be half blinds against this triple auto attack team rather than the 6 seconds of terror coming out. And we do see the side of Mosley and the Arconauts going to go up and siege this mid lane. Again, getting good camp value. PRA, they're not too far behind in the experience, but they do once again have a lot of macro pressure being pushed. Johanna, she's in deep. She's got no help. She does have Iron Skin. Mei trying to come in, does not pop the Iron Skin, pops the Laws of Hope, instead gets herself healthy. She's kind of like, I kind of want to be here. The rest of the team mounting up. Rainer nowhere to be seen. This could be a Blessed Shield engage. Oh, it misses. Unfortunate there. That was the engage they needed. Get the stun, get the Entomb, and get some kills with Jimmy being nowhere near. But unfortunately, not able to do so. We'll have to wait for the Blessed Shield to come back online for the side of PRA. but they are on those even 16 talent tiers. Jimmy is now down for the fight. The objective online. Lucio trying to channel in the middle of 3 minions. Not going to work there, buddy. Likes to get the rest of the team to start fighting them off, and now we're looking like a potential engage without the Blessed Shield. They could probably just posture and delay for as long as they can. They don't necessarily need to go pick a fight. Wait for the Blessed Shield to come back online, since that is the main engage tool coming out, since Sonya did go for that Wrath of the Berserker at level 10 rather than going for the leap, which ultimately I like. Like, you know, she's not gonna try and jump onto any critical backline. She's just trying to get in and do as much damage for as long as she can. So, you know, with this against this triple auto attack build and having the block, so Sonya's going to be able to put out a significant amount of damage here in some of these team fights with that Wrath of the Berserker. But we do see the sides both posturing for a fight. Leoric not here, is going to be able to rotate down. He doesn't rotate down into the fight, but Johanna absolutely getting shredded here. The light bomb not the light bomb, the ice wall going down, lands onto 2. Sonya having to get herself Wrath of Berserker pops really late there. And although most of the team did get bursted down there, Lucio is going to be able to heal that up just fine and dandy. And that's another 2 kills going over to the side of Mosley. I thought with the Leoric in this position, like Johanna had them baited perfectly through this channel. I thought Leoric was just going to come from behind and get a beautiful entomb, but Sylvester Chung had other ideas, maybe a little bit of miscommunication going on there, and decides to back around. So Johanna ended up dying, and then Sonya was, you know, close in tow with that death as well. Tassadar still waiting to finish off this static charge, getting it to about 3/4 of the way completed, but you know, Jimmy is just pushing off these side lanes every single time he gets a chance to, trying to grow that experience lead. We're gonna have a third objective being picked up here by the side of Mosley and the Arconauts. Gonna have 3 minions yet again in all of these lanes. Gonna go clear out the mid lane. The rest of the side of the PRA gonna push out this bot lane and see if they can get an early kill and protect this keep. I like the counter engage. I would like to see a rotation down from Mosley. They've got so many people overextended here. Mosley can just cut through this way and get some kills. Here they come. Cavalry is coming in. May is ready to go, and this is a great play by Mosley. They've got everybody behind, but the ice wall does miss. May trying to land the blizzard, but that misses too. Johanna getting actually a really good counter engage. Can the entomb come through? It does, landing onto 3 members here. Tassadar, but the sound barrier able to finish it off. The black hole going through, catches onto 2. Vala very, very low, but not able to be finished quite yet. Johanna trying to go in and get the rest of these members down, but Leoric is in the back fighting up against the May. That's 2 kills picked up by Mosley. May getting herself away, and unfortunately they weren't able to do what they wanted to get this boss down, and we've got sieges going heavily onto the keeps, all 3. If it was level 20 Leoric, that was all for sure 3 kills. Lucio would not be able to do anything with the silence being thrown onto him, being caught in that one, but unfortunately it's not. Lucio was able to pop the sound barrier, and now the siege is happening, and with triple auto attack, there is no way this boss is gonna survive. That is the one good thing about triple auto attack on Alterac Pass, is you can shred this boss. GG's coming out. Game 2 in favor of Mosley and the Arconauts. That was a pretty fun series coming in by both teams there. I mean, we saw the side of PRA getting, again, some pretty clutch plays. Tassadar was able to put out the most damage in the game, but unfortunately the most just wasn't enough. The rest of the team not able to follow through, get the damage down. Like I said, if it was a level 20 engage there, that was the fight for PRA. They were coming back heavy with that counter engage. But Lucio able to get the sound barrier off there, prevent the entomb from doing anything deadly, and ultimately coming away with the victory. I'm going to message our victors, Mosley and the Arconauts, and see if we can get a potential interview coming in here. So give me 1 second. That would be Arco. I should throw a question mark in there. I shouldn't make it sound so demanding. Like, get in here, I want to interview you. It should be like, hey, you want to do one? We'll see if they come in. We've got confirmation that our victors are coming in here. Oop, I went to the wrong lobby 5. If you have any questions for our winners, throw them out in chat. I will be able to ask at least 2 questions from Twitch chat to our victors. So throw it in there if you would like. I've got my own set of questions. And here we go. Welcome. Congratulations, Arco, for your 2-0 victory. How's the team feeling?
Pretty good right now. We've hit a bit of a slump, but maybe this is gonna put a little bit of pep in our step.
Hey, I love pep in the step. You guys definitely look like you got yourself back together from the game on Tuesday, coming in and delivering a 2-0 victory here against Phoenix Rising. Uh, yeah, well, tell me, you guys have matched these guys before, so was there any targeted like map bans or hero bans coming into the series from that you learned from your first series?
Yeah, so we fought Barry and Stukov in the first season, in our first set of games against them, and kind of caught us a little off guard, and we felt kind of punished for it. So we just wanted to make sure that we wouldn't give them the opportunity to get both again.
Okay.
Like game one, we went for the Varian, but then game two, we saw, oh crap, they're just gonna get us with the Imperious Silence, so we banned out the Stukov.
Oh, the Leoric silence?
No,
Oh, I thought you
they
said
had
game
the
2. I was like, Imperious
oh
was game 1.
oh yeah. So they had Imperious Stukov game one,
Right.
and we're like, well, that's just as bad as Taunt Stukov.
Got it. Yep.
So we're gonna ban the Silence for game two.
There you
But,
go.
but they got it on the Intube anyways. So
How's the interviewee a
yeah.
little? All right, I'm turning you up just a little bit because I got some people saying you were just a little quiet. I can control that. So I'm turning you up just a smidgen. But okay, so banning that out. So going into game 1 then, let me double check. I believe they picked map. Yes, they picked map. They wanted to take you guys to Volskaya Foundry. And you guys come out with the, I believe, double the Vala. You put the first pick on Sonya. Is that just a comfort pick? I mean, I see a lot of Sonya going around. So talk about a little bit of that.
So Sonya's just very good in the meta right now, we feel, and we know that they play Sonya, and it's simultaneously something we can do well and deny from them. It is more just playing the draft game.
Okay. So having the Sonya advantage, definitely something that you would like. And then going into the map, it looked like it was going well for a while. You kind of knew what was coming out of their comp with that just massive pick potential with the Imperious and Nubarak. And so how did you guys kind of, looking at that in draft, what was your guys' strategy going into that game with the comp that you ended up drafting as well?
So, well, our big plan was just to chip away whoever's at the front, like just Vala plugs damage into him and just goes long where I just annoy the backline as Samro. And just wear them out, hopefully. Just keep them staggered, disoriented, create chaos and all that. They really started getting us though. They did some clever rotations and picks, and like we just were not expecting that invade like in our top camp near the end there.
Mhm.
Like they got us good there.
Yeah, kind of that blind impale over the. Well, it wasn't blind because I believe the Nubrak came in first, but they kind of just all in from the other side of the wall and ended up catching 2 of you there. So that was pretty sweet to see. But you guys were able to recollect yourselves and find that fight on the bottom turret. Final turret for the push. What was going through that play? Because it looked like you guys like all in, didn't get the kills you were looking for. So what transpired for you guys to pull away with the win there?
So it just came down to the final protector, and I just called for the light bomb on Robbie and just ran my body into their entire team and just tried to make something happen. And we kind of split them between the turret and like their turret camp and going back where their fort was.
Mhm.
So it just kind of caught them disoriented, a bit of a divide and conquer, I feel.
Okay. Yeah, and ended up getting that 1 kill on the Anubrak, which ultimately, when you're that late into the game, that's kind of all you need when you got a level 20 protector on your back there. So, uh,
Yeah.
good things in game 1. Game 2 comes out. You guys get map pick this time and take us over to Alterac Pass. Was that played? I didn't get the chance to look. I know there's a lot of bugs going on right now. Was it played in Series 1? Is that like a Mosley special? I don't believe you played it on Tuesday night, if I remember.
No, we didn't play it on Tuesday night. Yeah, we really like Alterac Pass. It's just a very simple map to understand. Like it's hard to rotate and get invaded, just because there's the one camp and it's so far away. So it's just very safe. So if you can just coordinate the team fight very well, you can really grind out an advantage there.
Awesome.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely uh, agree that Ultra Pass can be kind of fun. And it looked like you guys had your timers down very well. We definitely had a lot of debate in the chat. Was it the plan to run 3 auto attackers into a Johanna? I mean, they picked Johanna, I believe, in their first rotation. All you guys had picked at that point was, or no, they picked Sonya. And then you guys grabbed the May and the Cassia, and then they picked the Johanna, and you ended up picking Vala and Raynor into the Johanna. So was that a team strategy, or was that just a flex move from coming from Mosley and the Arconauts?
No, we are in no position to be making flex moves this season. So we did kind of talk about it, like, oh, they have the blind. They snapped up the Leo that we really wanted. We weren't expecting the triple bruiser. And with Gazlo banned and the Sonya already out of the picture, we kind of just had to pick someone. And Mosley had been practicing up Raynor. We kind of figured Vala Cassia kind of do a hybrid damage. They're not like just all about their auto attacks, so the Raynor would be fine. And just same plan, just plug away at whoever's in front, and we get a big bad boy flank, like sweet, but
Yeah.
don't do anything fancy.
Well, I mean, it seemed to work. You're kind of just playing nice, calm, cool, collected in reserve. Lucio coming in with some clutch sound barriers to make sure Tassadar didn't finish the team off in some of those entombs. I was saying, man, if this was 2 levels later, this could have been a completely different ball game with the that entomb in that late game fight. But Lucio able to save the day. So, looking through, I offered Twitch chat the opportunity to ask some questions. I'm looking through. I don't really see any except for they were questioning why the Rainer was coming in the last pick, but it looks like Mosley actually was in chat answering that question as well. So there you go. Chat answers get when we got the interview in here, and we'll have the rest of the team answer questions for Twitch chat in there. We'll get to it. So I'll just go to the next question. If
Sure.
you had to if you had to pick your team's MVP for the series tonight, who would you pick?
I would really say Rusty. He really stepped up, did a lot of shot calling, like especially when my brain goes lax sometimes. Like I kind of tunnel vision on what I'm doing and forget that I should be shot calling, and he really picks up the slack and makes sure we're doing what we should be doing.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think just him pulling his weight there really helped out and made the difference.
And he's pulling a lot of weight with the May. Like
Oh yeah,
got a lot of snowballs to carry around there. So
yep, yeah, yeah.
it's not an easy job carrying all those snowballs. But
Snow's heavy.
snow is very heavy,
Yeah,
especially on Alteric. I mean, he had unlimited ammo being on Alteric Pass, so I guess that helps. Just
kind of
make one up.
cheating, really.
I mean, but he did come in with a very, very clutch boss steal in the bot lane, going down, you guys sniffing it out, and he kind of just parks himself in the ice crystal, and nobody could do anything, and he's just like, "This is mine now."
Yeah, we were pretty surprised it shook out that way too. We were like, they picked me off, and I'm just like, okay, well, they're doing boss right now. They're not showing anywhere else, missing all the soak. So you guys may as well just go down there. Don't necessarily fight it, but see what you can make happen. We could maybe steal it with Ice Wall, but didn't even need it. He just went in there, booped him off, stood on the points, ours, and it was great. Couldn't have hoped for better.
I was gonna say for a just go in there and see what you can see kind of situation. You came out of that pretty darn good.
Yeah,
But
yeah, absolutely.
going into the last question of the night, well, it's not really a question. It's more of I'm going to open this up for you to give any shout outs that you would like to give. The floor is yours. Have at it.
I'd just like to thank everyone involved in the NGS staff, like for making this possible. I'd like to thank the enemy team, my team, the casters, everyone who just facilitates this experience. I mean, we're having a ton of fun and it's great. Um, on top of that, I'd like to thank Himo Santiago. He's our glorious, wonderful coach. Gives us advice, tells us we're being stupid, and sometimes it sticks. I hope I'm not missing anyone. If I am, just I'll get you next time.
There you go. Get them next time. They'll let you know that you missed them, and then you'll get
Oh,
them on the other end. But
for sure.
awesome. Yeah. So thanks again, Arco, for coming in, giving us this interview. Congratulations on your 2-0 domination victory. That should be good enough to put Mosley back in the top 4. So gonna look for exciting things to come down the line, getting ready for these playoffs here. So congratulations again, and I hope to see you guys here soon.
All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Take care, bud.
You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Arco, captain, I think, yeah, captain of Mosley and the Arconauts. I love how Mosley and Arco are both in the name there. It's pretty fun. But coming in with the 2-0 victory against Phoenix Rising Amethyst. And man, oh man, Phoenix Rising Amethyst definitely made that a series. Coming in, I thought they were going to take away game 1 for sure. Coming in clutch in game 2, almost getting that turnaround with the Leoric was a lot of fun to see. I cannot go the rest of the night without saying thank you so much to Silver Arrow for the sub, coming in with the tier 1 sub. Unfortunately, I have notifications turned off when I'm casting NGS games. I turn them off because I don't want to take away from the series, but I always see them and I will always shout them out. So thank you so much coming in. I promise, guys, the emotes, they are literally here for you to use. I was trying to get them uploaded before the match tonight so we could start using those fancy emotes with the subscriptions. And I did, for some reason, there's just some sort of error going on. So I promise they will be done this weekend. We will have them for week 7. You can emote away to your heart's content. We got a lot of people subbing in this last week. I definitely appreciate all that support. I'm looking to give back to you guys and let you have some fun with some flair. Always appreciate the donations going to my kid's college fund. He's 3. He's got 15 years to go. So we got 15 more years of Heroes of the Storm casting to see how much we can raise up for his schooling. But enough of that. That is going to be it for me tonight. I am done casting this week. Not going to cast tomorrow or through the weekend. It is the wife's birthday weekend. We are hanging out, doing fun things, but we will be back maybe on Sunday. But next week for sure, I will throw up my calendar on my Twitch. You can come on over, see what's going on next week. And once that is set, we will see where we're going. As always, thank you so much. I'm going to go check because there were a lot of games going on tonight. So I want to make sure if there is still a match going, we get you guys over there and give somebody else some heroes love. It looks like, ooh, Taco, is he doing an interview right now? He is not. We've got some heroic division action going on Taco's channel. So I'm going to throw us all over. I got to make sure I link to the right individual here. I believe this is his channel. Let me double check. I gotta mute him so I don't give you guys. There it is. We're gonna go raid Taco's channel. He's got a nice match going on over there. But thank you guys so much for the support tonight. Great series coming in by both of these teams. I definitely look forward to everything coming forward for this week 7. Thanks again for all the support. Hopefully I'll see you Storm League. I am going to start casting probably later tonight, streaming later tonight, doing some solo queue Storm League with some friends. So if you're bored, come out and watch that in a couple hours or so. Otherwise, have a fantastic night, everybody. Enjoy the Nexus, and I'll see you here next week. Take care.